Iron Maiden album is the best? Is it Killers, Powerslave, or maybe No Prayer for the Dying? No, it's not.
Yep.
There are three particular reasons why I never released any of those ranking all Iron Maiden albums videos on the channel, and I'll explain them all. So first of all, objectively ranking Iron Maiden albums requires looking at which one of those are the strongest musically. And in all fairness, if I would have to do that, I would have to name such records as Seventh Son of a Seventh Son, and even throw A Matter of Life and Death into the mix, simply by looking at the musical composition of each song, their structures and cohesiveness of not only my favorite or the strongest ones, but of all the tracks on the album. Those records got to be the best ones then, right? Well, not at all.
What?
And so, not taking into account any of that musical composition and cohesiveness crap, we ought to look at the influence and the longevity of an impact a record has on both Iron Maiden as a band, their career, and heavy metal as a whole, and in such case, we simply have to name this one record. You know? Iron Maiden's debut album formalized the new wave of British heavy metal, and The Number of the Beast kicked off its end, in a way, twisting Maiden's sound and opening gates for the other records, including Peace of Mind, Powerslave, and My Beloved Somewhere in Time. The impact and importance of these two records simply cannot be overestimated, and yet I cannot really call them their strongest. Right, everyone knows that I simply love Gangland, and I always thought it was rightfully placed on The Number of the Beast and should not be removed from there, but in all fairness, it does actually stand out, and many people did not learn to appreciate it even until now.
Yeah, unbelievable.
And even more, let's be honest here, Invaders is not the strongest album intro Iron Maiden ever had, and it simply fades in a shade of, let's say, Where Eagles Dare or Aces High, which might very well be among those best ones. But just to be clear, those songs are still stronger than 90% of heavy metal released that same year. They're just not the strongest ones in the Iron Maiden discography.
It's just outrageous.
And so while both Iron Maiden and The Number of the Beast are definitely amongst the most influential albums in the entire genre of heavy metal, objectively it's kind of hard to call them the strongest in the Iron Maiden discography. And this is where it comes the third and the most messed up of the problems. When it comes to the albums, I consider to be the strongest ones for Iron Maiden, and in fact for my other favorite bands as well, including Judas Priest and Metallica. Most of those I wouldn't really call among my favorite ones, and this is exactly why I love this band. No, seriously, if you would have seen my top tier ranking of my favorite Iron Maiden albums, you most likely would have thought that I'm a lunatic.
Exactly.
For example, the pinnacle of my deep diving into the world of Iron Maiden came at around the time of the release of Dance of Death, and so while I don't consider it to be the strongest Iron Maiden album, and even more so, I don't even listen to it that often compared to the other ones, it developed such a deep emotional connection with me that if you would make me choose my top 5 favorite Iron Maiden albums, I would actually have to make room for it there, even at the expense of the ones I consider to be significantly stronger. And the same goes for several other ones, including Somewhere in Time and Killers, and even more. I got introduced to Iron Maiden with Fear of the Dark. My uncle first played it to me when I was a little kid, and I simply fell in love with it. And so chronologically, the next Maiden albums I got were The X Factor and Virtual 11. And guess what? While I don't consider them to be the strongest, it is no secret that I genuinely enjoy both of them much more so than, let's say, No Prayer for the Dying or The Final Frontier, the latter of which came out during a very hard time in my life, which made my perception of it rather distorted. this is how you know that you are a true fan of a band. When you truly love all of their catalog, yet develop a deep emotional connection with their songs or albums, sometimes making irrational choices because you got to make them with your heart. And that connection may in fact change depending on where you are at in your life at that point. And this is why I never make those ranking videos for Iron Maiden on this channel. And what about you? Which is your favorite Iron Maiden album? And is it the same as the one you objectively consider to be their strongest one? Please let us know in the comments. And next time I'll do the same exercise with Judas Priest and try to explain how my favorite Judas Priest album is not the same as the strongest Judas Priest album, which itself is actually among my favorite heavy metal albums of all time. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this short video, guys, and just wanted to let you know that only around 30% of the people who are watching my videos are actually subscribed to the Metal Pilgrim channel. So if for some reason you still haven't done so yet, and especially if it is not the first Up the Irons or Defenders of the Faith series video that you're watching on this channel, please consider doing that right now. Thank you so much for all your support, guys, and we will prevail. Slava Ukraini!